Friends, welcome. Let us continue our discussion on clubbing of income. So, in a previous session, we have learned two provisions, section 60 and 61. Quickly, let us very quick recapitulation we will do, then we'll go to the next section. 61, 62, 63, 64. These are the things. 60, 61, and 62, 63. Up to 63 we have covered. We'll start with section 64. Just give me a second for that. This is what we are talking about, section 60 and 61. Section 60 is about transfer of income without transfer of asset. So very simple. If that thing happens, income is transferred without transfer of asset, that will be clubbed. That income will be clubbed with transfer of income. Section 61 talks about income arising from revocable transfer of assets. That will also be clubbed, but revocable does not mean revocable which is beyond the lifetime of the beneficiary or beyond the lifetime of the transferee. That will not be treated as revocable transfer. Consequently, that income is not going to be clubbed. Or revocable does not mean that transfer has taken place before 1st April 1961, which is not revocable for a period of more than 6 years. That is also not revocable. In that case also, income is not going to be clubbed. And in any case, if the transferor derives some income directly or indirectly, then even if it is revocable, then the income from the transferred asset will also be clubbed with transferor's income. So this concept we have understood. Section 60 and 61 we have covered. Okay, section 62 talks about this exception, that also we have covered, and section 63 was talking about the meaning of revocable transfer, that we have covered. So section 62 to 63 was over. We'll learn section 64. Just give me a second for this. Yeah. If you talk about section 64, it has got various components, but one component is that clubbing of income arising to spouse. Spouse means husband or wife. In relation to husband, wife is the spouse. In relation to wife, husband is the spouse. Let us see how, in which situation the income arising to spouse will also be clubbed. First, let us see section 64(1)(2). As you can see, income by way of remuneration from a concern in which individual has substantial interest. So there is an individual, and the individual is having substantial interest in a concern. Substantial interest means 20% or more control. If the control is more than 20%, maybe in the terms of voting power or otherwise, so that will be considered as substantial interest. That person is having substantial interest in that entity or in substantial interest in that concern. Okay, now let us say one individual is there. He is having substantial interest in a company, and from that company, his spouse is drawing a remuneration. So this section talks about that. Okay, income by way of remuneration from a concern in which individual has substantial interest. And we are talking about clubbing of income arising to spouse. Okay. Remuneration in cash and kind, cash either in cash or kind, to spouse from a concern in which individual has substantial interest shall be clubbed. If that is the kind of situation, then spouse income will be clubbed with individual's income. In computing the total income of any individual, all such income which arises directly or indirectly, the spouse in which individual spouse of the individual by way of salary, commission, fees, or any other form of remuneration, whether in cash or in kind, from the concern in which individual has substantial interest, shall be clubbed. I think you understood this provision. But we have to check whether individual is having substantial interest or not. First of all, we need to know what is the meaning of substantial interest. Okay, you might have studied it when you are learning this thing in the head, under the head, profit and gains of business and profession, you might have learned that concept, substantial interest. Once again, I am explaining this thing. Circumstances when an individual is deemed to have substantial interest in a concern. First, we have to see what is the concern. If it is a company, then you have to see if the equity shares carrying 20% or more of voting powers were beneficially owned by the person. If the person is owning 20% or more voting power, then he is having substantial interest. Or partly by such person or partly by one or more his relatives at any time during the previous year. First of all, we have to see who is holding or is holding beneficiary 20% or more of the voting power. Second thing is that he is not holding entirely, he is holding partly, and along with his relatives, one or more relatives, in total he is holding 20% or more voting power. Then also he is having substantial interest. And this has to be tested at any time during the previous, even in the during previous year, on a particular day he was holding, then also he is having substantial interest. Understood the meaning of substantial interest?
Yes, sir.
In any other case means if it is not a company. Okay, in case of company, you have to check what is this equity share holding, right? In case it is a non-company, then equity share issue is not there. Then you have to see if such person is entitled or such person and one or more of his relatives are entitled, that means he is alone entitled or together with his relatives is entitled in aggregate to receive 20% or more profit from such concern at any time during the previous year. If that person is entitled to receive 20% or more profit, okay, that means he's having a profit sharing right of 20% or more. Either he alone or he himself along with his relatives. Then also it will be understood that the person is having substantial interest. Okay, now in that case, once we know this person is having substantial interest and his spouse is drawing some remuneration, it may be salary, commission, or any form of remuneration, that the remuneration is going to be clubbed with the person who is having substantial interest. Are you getting this point? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Here, we also need to understand the meaning of the term relative. Friends, relative in relation to an individual means husband, wife, brother, sister, or any lineal ascendant or descendant of that individual. The term relative has been defined in section 241. So this is the meaning of relative. So this person individually should hold or along with the relatives should hold 20% or more control in order to have a substantial interest in a concern. Once he is having substantial interest, then we have to see the remuneration in cash or kind to spouse from a concern in which individual has substantial interest is to be clear. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if you have understood this thing, we have to consider few exceptions to this. Now, this exception is that this clubbing provision. Which clubbing provision? Remuneration we are talking about. Remuneration to the spouse from a concern in which individual is having substantial interest. This clubbing provisions will not apply where remuneration is received on account of technical or professional qualification. That means spouse is technically or professionally qualified and his income is attributable to his knowledge and experience. Then it is not going to be clubbed. Otherwise, it is going to be. Okay, if you read this slide in detail, the clubbing provision, however, doesn't apply where the spouse of the said individual possesses technical or professional qualification and the income to the spouse is solely attributable to the application of his or her technical or professional knowledge and or experience. If this kind of situation, the clubbing provision doesn't apply. In that case, when clubbing provision is not applied, then that income will be assessed to tax in the hands of the spouse. That means whose income it will be taxed in his or her hand. Did you understand this provision? Where clubbing provision is applied, where clubbing provision is not applied. Yes or no? Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, one question might be arising to your mind that just now we have learned if uh, one individual is having substantial interest, the spouse income which is received from that concern will be clubbed. But what will happen if both husband and wife are having substantial interest? In that case, where both husband and wife have substantial interest in a concern and both are in receipt of income by of salary, etc., from the said concern, such income shall be includable in the hands of that spouse whose income, excluding such income, is higher. That means excluding that salary part, excluding that remuneration part, whose income is higher, the other person's income will be clubbed with that person's income. That means person who is having more income will be paying more tax. With his income, all other incomes will be clubbed. Did you understand? If both husband and wife are having substantial income.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you have understood this thing, then one more point will uh, add to that. Here, what happens? Where in any such income is once included in the total income of the either spouse. Let us say wife's income is included in the income of the husband. Once it is included in a particular year, then what will happen? It will continue. That means in future years also it will be always included like that. Okay, except in certain situations. So let us read this provision. Where any such income is once included in the total income of either spouse, income arising in succeeding years shall not be included in the total income of the other spouse. That means once included, it is continued to be included in that person's income. It will not happen that next year you will include with the other spouse's income. That will not be possible. Unless the assessing officer is satisfied after giving that spouse an opportunity of being heard, that it is necessary to do so. If assessing officer is satisfied, it is necessary to do so. That is necessary that income should not be included in the husband's income, should go to the wife's income, or wife's income should not in wife's income it should not be included. It should be added with the husband's income. In either case, when assessing officer feels it necessary, it will give an opportunity of being heard to the other spouse in whose income it is to be included. After that only it is possible. Otherwise, once it is included, it will continue to be included with that spouse income. Did you understand this provision?
Yes, sir.
In fact, I told you three things under this particular provision. That if a person is having substantial interest and spouse is drawing any kind of remuneration, then that remuneration is to be clubbed. Okay, but you have to remember one exception, that if the spouse is earning that income because of his technical and professional qualification and remuneration is attributable to that, then it is not going to be clubbed. And if both husband and wife are having substantial interest and both of them are drawing remuneration, then income, the other person's income will be includable with the income of the person whose income is higher. Higher means higher excluding this remuneration. Then one more concept we learn: income once included in a particular spouse income, it will continue to be included in his income unless when it is necessary to change and the assessing officer is satisfied on that. If you have understood this thing, now let us try to solve this illustration. The illustration talks about like this. You have to give me answer. You may take a piece of pen and paper. Uh, uh, Mr. A holds shares carrying 25% of the voting power in X Limited. So whether Mr. A is having substantial interest or not. Tell me. A holds 25% voting power. Whether he is having substantial interest or not?
Yes, sir. He is having
Substantial interest. Now, Mrs. A is working as a computer software programmer in this X Limited on a salary of 30,000 per month. And she is, however, not qualified for that job. He is not qualified. She is not qualified, but she is drawing a remuneration of 30,000 rupees per month. Okay, now you tell me whether Mrs. A's income will be clubbed with Mr. A's income or not.
Sir, it will be clubbed.
It will be clubbed. Okay. The other income of Mr. A and Mrs. A are 7 lakh and 4 lakh respectively. That means other income. Apart from this remuneration, Mr. A's income is how much? 7 lakh and Mrs. A's income is 4 lakh. This 4 lakhs she will be paying tax independently. Okay, but so far as salary part is concerned, that is going to be clubbed. Question is asking you to compute gross total income of Mr. A and Mrs. A. Can you do it? This particular question I am helping you. Next question you will be doing it. So first you see, since Mr. A holds 25% voting power, he is having substantial interest. His wife is working in the same company without professional qualification. Therefore, if you apply section 64, then clubbing provisions will apply, and whatever salary received by Mrs. A will be clubbed with the income of Mr. A. Now, if you see, salary received by Mrs. A is how much? 30,000 into 12, 3,60,000. Right? But when you study salary chapter, you know, salary, there is a standard deduction provision. So standard deduction will be allowed 50,000. So his salary income actually 3,10,000. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
3 lakhs. And question is also saying that Mr. A's other income is 7 lakh. So 7 lakh is Mr. A's own income, other income, but spouse income will be clubbed to the extent of 3,10,000. On the spouse income, standard deduction will be allowed. So total gross total income of Mr. A is how much? How much is that Mr. A's gross total income?
10 lakh.
Can you tell me?
Sir, 10 lakh 10,000.
10,10,000. And coming to Mrs. A's gross total income, her salary is included in Mr. A's income. So salary is not her own income now, but she is having other income, that is 4 lakh. So gross total income of Mrs. A is how much?
4 lakhs.
4 lakh. So Mrs. A's this 3,10,000 rupees will be included in Mr. A's income because Mr. A is having substantial interest and Mrs. A is not having any technical or professional qualification. Did you understand this provision?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you have understood this provision, now answer me this thing. Will your answer be different if Mrs. A was qualified for the job? Answer will be different or not?
Sir. Yes, sir.
In that case, what will be the income of Mrs. A?
Sir, 4 lakhs plus 3 lakh 10,000.
Very good. 4 lakh plus 3 lakh 10,000. Okay, so 7 lakh 10,000. And income of Mr. A?
7 lakhs.
7 lakh. Very good. Very good. Okay, in that case, you know, so 7 lakh 10,000 will be the income of Mrs. A. Mr. A's income is 7 lakh. Is correctly computed. This is the answer to this. You can have a look at this answer. Okay, friends. Now, if you are comfortable with that, now let us solve one more question, which will help us to get more clarity on this particular provision. I request some of you to read this question first. Please read it out.
Mr. B holds shares carrying 30% voting power in Y Limited. Mrs. B is working as accountant in Y Limited, getting income under the head salary of rupees 3,44,000 without any qualification in accountancy. Mr. B also receives 30,000 as interest on securities. Mrs. B owns the house property which C has let out. Rent received from tenants is 6,000 per month. Compute the gross total income of Mr. B and Mrs. B for the assessment year 2020.
Yeah, friends, this is the question. So Mr. B is having substantial interest or not in Y Limited? First tell me.
Substantial interest.
Substantial interest in the concern Y Limited. And Mrs. B is working as an accountant, as you know, without any qualification. And the question is saying his computed salary is 3,44,000. When you say computed salary, you have to see after allowing all deductions, standard deductions, etc. Okay, you can say net salary is after standard deduction is 3,44,000. Now, what do you feel? Whether it will be clubbed or it's not going to be clubbed?
It will be clubbed.
It will be clubbed. Right, good. And Mr. B also receives 30,000 interest on. So Mr. B will be paying tax on that. 30,000 interest income from other sources. That is that. Okay, Mrs. B owns a house property. She let out. Okay, it is a let out house property. Rent received from 6,000 per month. So in case of house property, you know, it is not the rent, but rather it is the annual value of the house property which is chargeable to tax. So we need to compute the annual. Okay, annual value you have to compute. It is let out. Then you know deductions are allowed uh, for this thing. Standard deduction on house property, 1/3 is also allowed. So after that only it will be taxable. Question is asking, compute the gross total income of Mr. B and Mrs. B. Can you do this? Let me help you. Now, first of all, we need to appreciate that since Mrs. B is not professionally qualified for the job, clubbing provision shall be applicable. First, let us compute the gross total income of Mr. B. Income from Mrs. B is how much? 3,44,000. As I told you, this is net of standard deduction. Standard deduction has already been deducted. It's already computed. And Mr. A is having income from other sources. How much? 30,000. Now, what is the gross total income of Mr. B now? This is Mr. B.
3,74,000.
3,74,000. Any query here? Or it is
Sir.
clear? It is clear, right? Now let us come to Mrs. B. Mrs. P, you see salary income, whether it will be included or not, whether it will be there or not.
Sir.
It will be there, salary income. She has received some salary. Should we include that?
No, sir.
No, it will
No,
not
sir.
be included because it is already clubbed in the hands of Mr. B. But what about her house property income? 6,000 into 12, annual value 72,000. Municipality taxes paid, data is not available. So net annual value is 72,000. But you know, under section 24, there are deduction 30% of net annual value and interest on borrowed capital. Interest on borrowed capital data is not available. But 30% of NAV, net annual value, is 21,600. So income from house property is actually 72,000 minus 21,600. It comes to 50,400. And he is having no other income. So gross total income of Mrs. B is how much?
50,000.
50,400. Okay. Did you understand up to this?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So this provision is over. Okay. So now we have understood it thoroughly that income by way of remuneration in cash or kind to spouse from a concern which individual has substantial interest shall be clubbed. We need to understand the meaning of substantial interest, and also we have to keep in the mind the 20% holding is himself plus relatives again together. Okay, it should be 20% or more. Okay, even just 20% means also substantial interest, and also it has to be tested at any point of time. If any point of time during the previous year, if the person is having substantial interest, he is having substantial interest. Okay, and in case the spouse is having some qualification to fit the to which is necessary for the, or you can say which is relatable to the remuneration, then it will not be clubbed. Okay, and we have already discussed when both of them are having substantial interest, the other person's income will be clubbed with the income of the spouse whose income is higher. Once included, it is continued to be included there. So this provision will come. Okay, now friends, some other provisions we'll be learning. I'm just introducing it to you today. We'll be continuing it in the next session. Now, next provision you see transfer of asset other than house property. That means some asset has been transferred, but house property is not covered in this particular provision. There is a separate, you can say, relevant provision for that. We'll see it later on. So, transfer of asset, where there is a transfer of asset other than house property, directly or indirectly, from one spouse to another without adequate consideration. That is, a property is transferred without adequate consideration, or otherwise than in connection with an agreement to live apart. Without adequate consideration is one thing, or this is otherwise than in connection with an agreement to live apart. So it is not connected with an agreement to live apart. If that is the situation, then any income arising to the transferee spouse from the transferred asset, either directly or indirectly, shall be clubbed with the total income of the transferor spouse. Okay, so there is a person who has transferred some property to the spouse, and the transfer is not for adequate consideration, and transfer is not in connection with an agreement to live apart. If that is the situation, then whatever income is generated from that asset or income is earned by the transferee spouse will be clubbed with the income of the transferor spouse. Okay. Understood this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me, if you want, I will give you one example right now. Let us say Mr. A, or let us say, to simplify this thing, let us say husband and wife. Now, husband transfers some asset to wife. Okay, and this transfer is, you have to see, not that you can say without adequate consideration. That is, by gift it has given, or he had transferred that property for rupee 1 without adequate consideration. Or the transfer is not connected with an agreement to live apart. That means they are not going to stay separately. It's not connected with an agreement to live apart, but still they not without adequate consideration it has been transferred. Then what will happen? And whatever income is generated with that transfer, which is earned by the transferee spouse, will be clubbed with the income of the transferor spouse. This is the provision. Did you understand this?
Yes, sir.
You got it. Okay. And as I told you, this provision, this section 64 provision we are talking about asset other than house property. Okay. Why other than house property? Because for house property there is a separate provision. We have studied it when we are learning the head income from house property. At that time when we are studying section 27, you know, if an individual transfers a house property to his spouse without adequate consideration, or otherwise than in connection with an agreement to live apart. If this is what happens, what will happen? The transferor shall be deemed to be the owner of the house property, and consequently, the annual value shall be taxed in his hand. So this is the provision as regards to house property. Otherwise, house property, I told you this example. If this property transferred is a house property, then section 27 will apply, not section 64. Section 27, what it says? In this kind of situation, when house property is transferred to the spouse, without adequate consideration are not connected with an agreement to live upon, then what will happen? The transferor shall be deemed to be the owner. Consequently, the income will be taxable in the hands of the transferor spouse. Understood, friends? Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, friends, we'll stop here today. We'll catch up in our next session. Right? I think up to this it is clear. In case you have any query, you may ask it in our next session. Thank you very much. Any query you are having right now?
No, sir.
Okay. So thank you very much. We'll catch up in our next session. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.